Hi, so here we are with your connection reflection for Saturday. And so for Saturday, on Saturdays we depart from the typical more spiritual focus for our time, and we take a look at the mental health physiological component. And particularly today, what I want to take a look at is the feel-good hormones. And so you can remember them. There's a little acronym called D.O.S.E, and particularly dopamine, which is released when we accomplish things. You're able to check a task off your to-do list. Also when we learn new information. Oxytocin, which is released when we have that sense of love and trust and friendship. Serotonin is associated with a sense of importance and respect. And endorphins are released when we push past our normal physical limits, like it's that runner's high kind of feeling. It's also released when we eat dark chocolate, so take your pick. Particularly I want to talk about oxytocin because it's really something that I think we're depleted of given this whole pandemic situation and how long it's gone on for, and the separation that we've had from each other, and even particularly the concept of a mask. Not getting into the politics of whether we should wear masks or not, but when we do, think of how much you see of someone. When you see someone, you don't see their smile. You don't see that regard. You don't see that positive regard. And we may even, given that it's summertime, they may even have sunglasses on or a hat that may really obscure us from even having that sense of being recognized, being seen by another. So when we're cut off from our larger groups of being able to associate with each other, community and connection, and then we're really limited in even that knowing glance and the smile that we're used to seeing on people's faces, even being able to recognize a human face in its entirety. So one of the ways that oxytocin is released is when we experience being trusted and being loved and friendship. It's also released when we do kind things for others. It's really so amazing how the Lord's wired us. If I was walking down the street and I saw someone drop things out of a bag, say they're 25 yards ahead of me, and someone else stops and helps that person pick their things up, the person who dropped their things would get a burst of oxytocin. The helper would get a burst of oxytocin, and even myself and whoever else may witness that kind act gets a burst of oxytocin. So when we're in these very stressful times of pandemic, of rioting, of looting, of all the craziness that's ensuing in our world, let's take a look at what we can naturally do to increase these things in our lives. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Remember that even reaching out in kindness and kind acts gives us that burst of feel good. So if there's somebody that you can do an act of kindness for today, I really encourage you to do that and just delight in the fact of how thoroughly the Lord has wired us for connection with each other. God bless you.